What's going guys, Zennosh here, and today in this video of Exos Heroes, I'm presenting to you guys this review on an amazing hero unit known as Raquel or Rachel, however you want to pronounce his name, alright? We're going to discuss about his basic details, his stats, we are going to review his skills, and let's see what are the all sort of things or advantages that he's actually going to provide on the table when we are going to face the opponents in the battlefield with him being in our team. Okay, so that's that, guys. Anyways, first of all, look into his basic detail right over there. He's a fire element type of hero unit. That means whenever the critical hit is being triggered in the battlefield, whether it be by the opponents or by our allies, he's going to gain +1 mana. Alright, there we go. The next thing is going to be the attack type. That means like he's definitely going to excel in dealing the damage to the opponents, and being physical unit definitely is going to be helpful, especially in those kind of contents where opponents are pretty much immune to magical damages, and he's definitely going to deal some really good damage against those opponents. Okay, so now let's look into his stats. Let's see if it's really great or not. As a physical unit, definitely is going to have high HP and the defense stats compared to a magical type of unit, like let's say battery right out there. So you can pretty much tank a lot of hits coming from the opponents. That's all we can say. Attack is going to be 1157, which is a little bit lower than compared to the magical unit like battery, who has a attack stat of 1,302 points. Alright, so Raquel having 1,157 points, I mean, like, it's average for an attack type unit with a physical affinity. Okay, that is that, guys. Just like Rudley, alright? But his critical hit is just 20 points, which is definitely low, guys. Like, you would not really want to have that kind of critical hit rate going on around. It's too low, because you would definitely want to access on your critical damage so that you can really deal some amazing damage to the opponent. And having just 20 points of critical hit, holy crap, damn it, that is too low. Really freaking low, guys. Just think about it. Battery has a critical hit rate of 150 points. How about G9? 280 points. And Raquel, just 20 points? Oh my god. As an attacking unit, that is definitely going to be a really big problem right up there. Meaning, like, he's definitely going to induce, or trigger or proc that normal damage all the time rather than dealing a critical damage, which definitely is going to improve his damage by up to 150%. That is so cool, isn't it? So, well, that's the problem right over there. Attack speed is going to be just 96. Definitely a very good attack speed right out there, but not the superb one, because, like, let's say Reras, he has 115 points, Baraka, that is 114 points, Jean is gonna be 115 points, and compared to that one, Rachel, it's like pretty much average. Okay, that's what I can say to you guys. Okay, definitely not the superb one, but still a little bit high attack speed compared to other hero units, like let's say Battery right over there, who only has 56 attack speed points. So there we go, guys. Now let's try to discuss his skill effects. Okay, first of all, let's go into the skill preview right over there. So first, let's start with his passive effect, because he is really known for his passive effect, guys. Passive effect really does allow him to be a very unique and amazing unit out there. First of all, his counter, he will counter upon taking damage, meaning like whenever he is going to take a hit from the opponents, he's going to counter the opponent. That means he's also gonna gain 1 mana, because as an attack unit, if he lands a hit or he actually inflicts a damage on an opponent, that means he's going to gain +1 mana. Alright, and while he's going to counter, he's gonna gain mana as well, because he just landed a hit, right? And he actually gains 1 mana if the target dies. So upon countering, if he actually manages to kill the target, he will gain 1 mana. And he will also gain 1 mana if the health of the target is at 70% or more while the counter was triggered. Okay, so there we go, guys. And just think about it. The opponent had 70% or more HP, and also at the same time he was really able to kill the opponent with his counter. I think he can actually gain up to 2 mana. Alright, if I'm wrong, please do correct me. Alright, that's a lot of mana gain, guys. I think that's really cool indeed. Now the second effect is going to be the flow of mana. Overtime effect. Back row allies permanently gain 1 mana. Now this is the reason why I really want Raquel. Again, you can be pretty much hearing me shouting for Raquel whenever I get a fated hero right out there in this summoning banner, because of this effect, guys. Alright, only Jinai and this guide right over here known as Raquel can provide +1 mana to the back row allies, because in the PvP contents, the chaotic and the attack type units are pretty much confined to the back row. In the front row, the defending type of units and the supportive type of units are, like limited to the front row position. Okay, so that is the problem right over there. So that means Raquel is definitely going to improve your firepower. Yes, like let's say Sabrina, she can pretty much deal a single target nuke with just 1 mana cost, and same goes with uh, Bernadette, and same goes with Fedcore Jeon as well. Alright, so if you really want to spam on the opponents right off the bat as soon as the battle starts, then come on your first turn, you would definitely want to deal a lot of damage, right? And Raquel is actually going to help you guys in gaining such kind of advantage against the opponent. So there we go. And the next thing is gonna be his synergy. Yes, he's a synergy inducer. And there are very few hero units right out there in this game who can pretty much induce a synergy, okay? And synergy effects are very awesome in this game. Now, the synergy effect that he's going to apply on the opponents is definitely going to be dishearten, okay? It says dishearten. Afflicts enemy with lower attack than self, so that means you really need to make sure that your Raquel has a lot of attack stat, or else he might not be able to, affect the opponent with the dishearten effect. Then self with the dishearten mark, and decreases their dodge by 50 and defense by 20%. Wow, that is really cool, isn't it? I mean, like being able to decrease their dodge by 50%, that is really, really awesome. Because like if the opponent managed to dodge, that means like the whole damage is mitigated. They will take no damage whatsoever. So if you just can avoid that one, that would be much better, isn't it? And defense by 20%, that means like you can pretty much amplify your damage really nicely. I mean, like your damage is gonna be more hurtful to the opponents right over there. So dishearten effect, really cool, guys. And there are many other hero units that can pretty much take advantage of this effect. Like let's say Fate Corjion. If he actually managed to kill a disheartened opponent, he's gonna get an extra turn, right? There's gonna be a Baraka who is actually going to gain or steal, let's say, 1 mana if he actually attack a disheartened opponent, and he's gonna provide +2 mana to any hero right out there, random hero in the back row. So that is definitely going to be helpful to improve your firepower even better, right? And the next unit is gonna be Shah Khan, which I think can pretty much improve his critical hit to 100%. Yes, he's definitely going to land a critical hit on the opponent if the opponent is disheartened. So that's the Shah Khan. So yeah, and there are many other hero units, I guess, are pretty much available as well, who are pretty much going to take advantage of this dishearten effect. I think they are the 1-star or 2-star heroes. If I'm wrong, please do correct me, alright? Anyways, now let's move on to his first skill. That's gonna be Quick Sloss. Required mana 3 mana. Wow, that's quite expensive for the fast skill, meaning like it will be quite hard for you guys to really start with his first skill right off the bat. Okay, I mean like his first active skill, or whenever the battle starts and when it comes to be his turn, I mean like you will be pretty much confined to his basic attack. Like let's say if you have Sabrina in the team, right, and you have Raquel on the team, that means at least Sabrina will be able to inflict her first skill that only costs 1 mana with that 300% damage right off the bat. But for Raquel, you will really need 3 mana right away, and that can be quite problematic, guys. Deals 315% damage to one enemy. Alright, for 3 mana cost, 315% damage only? I think it's not really that fair, because Bernadette can deal 300% damage to one enemy with just 1 mana cost, and I think that's more economic. Special, the turn resets if the target dies. Okay, so that is cool actually. You will be actually able to get extra turn, and that's gonna be quite cool as well, meaning like you will be able to make multiple hits right over there. So there we go, guys. And the second thing is going to be his active skill number 2. That's gonna be named as Silent Slash. It is gonna require you guys 5 freaking mana. Wow, that's a lot of mana cost, but guess what, guys? It's a burst damage. So if you are asking me what is a burst damage, it is actually that kind of skill that is going to consume any kind of excess mana right out there, meaning like it will only require 5 mana to trigger this skill, right? But if you have like let's say 8 mana, it is also going to consume that 3 more extra mana, meaning like it is going to consume all those 8 mana, but it's going to improve its damage output, meaning like if you have 10 mana or 8 mana at a time, you are going to deal more damage compared to just regular 525% damage to a single target. And yes, it's a single target nuking damage with the burst effect on it, and which is really, really rare in this game. You will rarely find any kind of unit out there who are going to have this burst effect on a single target nuking stuff. Like, let's say Baraka, he doesn't have a burst effect on his single target nuking damage. So there we go. So in that situation, or in that perspective, this is definitely a very good skill right out there. But it has an additional effect. What it does is that it provides a boost. Okay, if he managed to kill the target that he's going to attack with his second active skill, and usually there is a very high chance that he's going to knock the lights out of that opponent because of such really high damage modifier and being it as a burst damage. So yes, definitely is going to have a really good chance in defeating the opponent. And if he manages to defeat the opponent, he will increase the attack and hit of all allies by up to 50%. Wow, that is one of the best, maybe the most superior type of attack boost to entire allies, guys. And this is definitely going to improve the overall DPS of your team, whether it be the PvE contents or the PvP contents. So looking into that matter, guys, Raquel is definitely a must-have unit in your team. Just think about it. He's going to deal some really good damage to the opponent, and also being able to improve the attack and hit stats of all the allies for 10 turns. That is definitely amazing, guys. And he's also going to improve the attack speed of the allies by 20 points, and that's going to be very, very helpful, guys. Very, very, very helpful, because higher the attack speed you have, more faster you are going to gain your next turn, and definitely you are going to be quite like, advantageous against your opponents. Okay, so that is pretty much really cool right out there. Being able to improve the attack by 50% for all the allies, that is something really cool. And also the hit percentage also at the same time, that's definitely awesome. I'm like, improving the accuracy of your team, really great. And also improving the attack speed, wow, that's superb. That's superb. Now silent slash, what really makes him really, really awesome, guys. So it's his passive effect that actually provide, and that makes him quite capable of providing that +1 mana to the back row allies, which is definitely going to be helpful in the PvP contents, because in the PvP contents, what's going to happen is that the attacking units, or let's say your main cannons, or let's say your main offensive units, are pretty much confined to the back row. They can only be placed in the back row. Okay, and in such situation, being able to improve their mana gain by one, like permanently gain 1 mana every time, then that means you are pretty much ensuring a really good damage output. Okay, so that's what I really have to say to you guys. Anyways, let's preview his first skill. That's gonna be the quick slash. Okay, it looks really, really good right away. Just look at that. He nearly got invisible for a moment, right? So there you go. This is gonna be his silent slash. That's gonna be his second skill, and definitely it looks very awesome, guys. Just look at that. Wow, wow, that's a really nice animation. And according to the story, he's pretty much the son of Emma, right? Yes, raised by Baelish, if I'm not wrong. So there we go, guys. Definitely a must-have unit, guys, especially for his flow of mana for the macro allies, which is definitely going to be really helpful for your single target nukers, like let's say Bernadette and Sabrina, or let's say Fedcore Jeon, to deal some amazing damage right off the bat whenever they get their first turn. And that's going to be really cool. Thanks to the counter, he's actually going to stack up on his mana really, really fast. Okay, and thanks to the dishearten effect, he's going to be a really good partner for Baraka, Shakan, and the Fedcore Jeon. Okay, so there we go. And if you actually manage to dishearten the opponent, their dodge will be decreased by 50 points, and their defense will be decreased by 20 points. Definitely going to improve your damage output on your opponents. And there we go, guys. With this disheartened thing going on around, I think his silent slash is definitely going to improve a lot of damage. Okay, I mean, like, it's going to really deal a lot more damage to the opponents right up there. But the problem is that, like, his critical hit rate is very, very low, and that's what makes him so bad. Okay. All right, but if you actually manage to raise his critical hit rate really nicely thanks to the faded armors and the weapons, he's definitely going to rise up really really fast. That's what I can say to you guys. All right. And his first skill, I'm not really a big fan of it. All right, it is actually going to cost a lot of mana, and you definitely are not going to be able to use it most of the time, unless you are really good at stacking up on the mana. Okay, and there we go, guys. That's all I have to say to you guys. All right. When it comes to the PvP content, definitely he's like a 9 over 10, or let's say 9.5 over 10. It's really that good, because being able to induce that single target burst damage is definitely going to take care of the first guardian units, and that's going to be so cool indeed. Being able to really deal a lot of damage like that, and being able to improve the attack and hit of all allies by 50%, definitely a must have in the PvP contents. Okay, and being able to provide that +1 mana again to the back row allies permanently, that is another thing that you would definitely want to consider. Okay, and that's that. And having synergy with one of the really good units out there in this game like Fedcore Gion and Baraka, oh my god, that is definitely going to be quite helpful right out there. And that's what I really have to say to you guys. And that's the Raquel for you guys, and these are the reasons why I really want the Raquel to be in my team. Okay, he really needs to be in my team. I've been really dreaming about him a lot of times, and definitely I would be really happy if I get his Fedcore version. And obviously I will be bringing you guys the another video review on the Fedcore version of this Raquel, so that I can give you a detailed discussion on him as well. So that is pretty much it for the PvE contents. I will say that like I will give him about like 8.5 over 10. Yes, definitely that's going to be quite helpful. He does lack an AoE damage, okay? So that means definitely he's not going to be quite able to have a good control over the mobs, and that is quite really essential, especially in the PvE contents. And that's why I think 8.5 is definitely going to be a really good score right over there. And also due to a little bit deficiency of his critical hit rate right over there as well. So that is pretty much it, guys. That's all I have to say to you guys. All right, so this is it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to keep on enjoying the contents of my channel. See you guys in the next video.